So what else I meant there was, so if you have a open cover in the sense, take this set and however possible it is, you just think about the open sets, open balls. You try to cover them. You try to cover S by that open ball. Is it clear? So you can cover them by these open balls. Then if you have this collection, let me say that is my O alpha. O alpha is all the open covers, possible open covers for this S. That will be my O alpha. Then if at all, if I can find finitely many, you can say, sir, why I want all this? Just I want, see, you can drop this fellow and you can drop this fellow. Somewhere if I have this fellow, I can drop this fellow also. So likewise, you can just count 1, 2, 3. There may be some 21 open balls are enough, sir. Then it is fine. Then if it has in that given open cover, if you can find finite subcover that covers the set S, then we say that S is compact. In most of the cases, we won't use this definition. We will use, if it is a subset of Rn, we just think about whether it is closed and bounded. This is enough to think about to solve some problems. But however, this definition is also needed. So let me think about this definition also, so that somewhere it may help us to in solving some problems. Okay. So I have few examples regarding this. Whether Z is compact. See, Z is a subset of R and we know the result. Any subset of R is compact if and only if it is closed and bounded. See whether this is closed. What are the limit points of Z? Z dash is empty. So it is contained in Z. So it is closed. Whether it is bounded? No, it is not bounded. So this is not compact. How about this? S is equals to xy, where xy equals to 1. That means it is nothing but the set of all points x comma y, where y equals to 1 by x. It is nothing but the graph. Okay. So S is nothing but x comma y such that y is equals to 1 by x. How this will look like? So this is the graph. Y is equals to 1 by x. It is closed because every point is a limit point. But it is not bounded. It is unbounded at 0. So it is unbounded. So it is not compact. How about this x square plus y square less than 1? That means interior of the circle. Getting my point? You are not considering what else I drawn here. Just considering the points within. You just assume you have a balloon of radius 1 centimeter and you are concentrating only on the air filled on that balloon, in that balloon. So you are not considering the wall, that is the balloon. So that means this point cannot be the limit point. This will be the limit point, but this is not closed. Why it is not closed? Because set of all limit points, see, the limit points is x square plus y square less than or equals to 1 is the limit point for this. It contains the boundary also. Is it clear? The boundary is also included in the limit point, but this is not contained in yes. If I say this is yes, this is not contained in yes because this is bigger. Or else, to be very precise, look to this whether you have, if you have equality, you can say it is closed. If it is less than, it is not closed. So this is not compact. This is x to the power 2 by 3 plus y to the power 2 by 3 equals to 1. The graph will look like this. Some rhombus shape. And this is closed as well as bounded. So this is compact. because every point is a limit point and it is bounded. This is nothing but the equation for your ellipse. This is also closed and bounded. So this is also compact. Y is greater than or equals to x. See, y is greater than or equals to means first try to plot what is y is equals to x. This is y is equals to x, and the upper portion is y greater than x, and the lower portion is y less than x. That means we are concentrating on this region. But this is unbounded, you can go up to, it goes. So this is unbounded. That means this is not compact. X square plus y square, x square into y square equals to 1. See, this precisely goes in this way. It's symmetric with respect to both the axes if it is even. So this is x square y square equals to 1. This is unbounded. Whereas if I say x cube y cube equals to 1, then what is the situation? See, to be very precise, you just go with this. First odd degree is xy equals to 1, even degree is x square y square equals to 1. What is xy equals to 1? Xy equals to 1 is already we discussed. See, this will be xy equals to 1. You will have in the first quadrant as well as in the third quadrant. For x cube y cube equals to 1, same, in the first quadrant you will have, in the third quadrant you will have. Whereas for the x square y square equals to 1, this is the case. You will have in all the quadrants. But however, this is unbounded. See, it shoots up to infinity because y square equals to 1 by x square. As x tends to 0, this is infinity. So this is unbounded. Is it clear? So this is not compact. Or else xy equals to 1, x square y square equals to 1, x cube y cube equals to 1, x to the power 4 y to the power 4 equals to 1. All these are not compact. Is it clear? Then we have next concept is what are connected sets. What's the definition for connected sets? See, to be very precise, a set is said to be connected if you can join any two points by a polygonal path. A set is said to be connected if you can join any two points by a polygonal path. But if you are in set of all real numbers, if you are in R, any subset of R is connected if and only if it is an interval or a singleton set. Getting my point? So it's R means it's like a single strip. If you want to say connected means the point should be either you should be an interval or else a singleton. Singleton is also an interval. Just say A to A. How many elements it has? Singleton. Is it clear? The elements are not distinct here. This is also connected. A point with itself is connected. But here, the situation, this is connected. Whereas if I consider just natural numbers, n is a subset of R, right? 1, 2, 3. The sets are nothing but likewise. They are separated by a distance, or else minus 0, minus 1. These and all are separated. Separated in the sense they are not connected. Not connected is Z, N. These are not connected. Or else Q, Q complement. All these are not connected. Is it clear? Q is not connected because if I consider any two rationals, you cannot just say only rationals will form the interval, because in between there are infinitely many reals, right? Because Q is dense in R. We will explain this dense subsets now after this concept. However, a subset of Rn is said to be connected if any two points of R is connected. See, this set is connected. This pen, what else I am using? From here to here, wherever you want to go, you can find a path. Is it clear? Whereas particularly this pen as well as this, let me say, I have a set here and the other set somewhere. These are not connected because you cannot join them by a polygonal path. There is no connection between them. This is not connected. Is it clear? Or else let me say a boy is here somewhere and he is in the air, he is just thinking about a kite. This is connected because you can join by a polygonal path. The thread is there, but once it leaves the hands of that boy, if it comes out, then it is not connected. Boy is here and it is not connected. The idea is likewise. If you are able to find a polygonal path, then it is connected or else not. Is it clear? See here, that's what I said. A and B are connected. That means A is also connected set, B is also connected. But whereas A union B is not connected. Because if you take the union, just it will be a rectangle, a triangle as well as a circle. How to connect them? You can just take them as it is. Is it clear? So there is a difference between this connected set, disjoint sets and separated sets. Let me give the clarity now so that you will be clear what exactly these definitions are all about. Clear? We will just describe what is a connected set. We described what is a connected set. Now we will think about what is a disjoint set and separated sets. So if we are clear with these three things, then we can move further for dense subsets. For the sake of simplicity, see, I will try to explain through examples, because reading the definition and again coming to the problem, it's a bit somewhat. Let me think about the problem, then we can solve some problems, right? Because you can give the theoretical definition and you can imagine what's happening. That should be there. The visualizing mind should be there once you read some concepts. See, disjoint sets and separated sets, these are different. I am telling, strictly speaking, these sets are different. Both are not the same, not one and the same. They are different. See, I have a set here. Let me say A is the open closed at 0 and open at 1. B is open interval 1 to 2. The same set. Whether they are disjoint. Disjoint means A intersection B should be empty. They are disjoint. Right? Whether they are connected, union. I am telling A union B. A union B is 0 to 2. This is connected. See, each are disjoint sets, but their union is connected. Clear? So, in fact, we want more than this connected or disjoint sets. Disjoint means no element is common. Those and all are called disjoints. Then we introduced separated sets. What are these separated sets? Separated sets. See, A and B are said to be separated if A intersection B bar is empty and A bar intersection B is empty. That means A is not near to B as well as B is not near to A. A intersection B bar is empty means, see here, I have A as well as B. What is B bar? B bar means including its boundary points. You consider the triangle including the boundary. Is it clear? You consider these lines also. What else I am shading? You need to consider interior as well as what else I am shading. That is a boundary point. How about A bar? A bar is including the boundary. So A bar is A union A dash. B bar is B union B dash. That is set of all limit points union with itself. Now what is the situation? Now the situation is this. You take A bar intersection B. That's what A bar intersection B. A bar is here, B is here. Nothing, no element is common. Fine. Then again, A intersection BR. A means you just consider the interior. Don't consider that boundary, consider the interior. Intersection with B bar. B bar means you consider B as well as B dash. That means you take everything in this triangle. Then what is A intersection B bar? This is empty. Am I right? No element is common. This is somewhere sitting here, this is somewhere sitting here. Getting my point? Is it clear? Then A intersection B bar is empty. A bar intersection B is empty means A and B are separated. That means A is not near to B, B is not near to A. But these are not separated. A and B, these sets are not separated. Even though they are disjoint, they are not separated. Why? What is A? A is precisely 0 to 1. What is B? B is, you include this also, 1 to 2. Now what is A bar intersection B? A bar means you consider this A bar is 0 to closed interval 1. Intersection B. So you have one element common. Is it clear? Is it clear? So these sets are not separated. They are disjoint, but they are not separated. But whereas these are disjoint as well as they are separated. See, however you are trying to become closer to B, B won't agree with you. That is A intersection B bar is empty. A bar intersection B is empty. B bar means you are extending B to some boundary. You are trying to make possibly how much big B that you can make. You are making by considering B bar, but it won't touch us A. And you are concentrating on A bar. A bar is the largest set. You can think about A. A bar intersection B. A bar intersection B, that is also empty. That is the case for the separatedness. If that happens, we say that those sets are separated. Is it clear? Then what is disconnected? We studied disjoint, separated. Now we are thinking about disconnected. In fact, we studied connected also. But the other way of thinking the disconnectedness is any set S is said to be disconnected if S can be written as union of two non-empty separated sets. Last example, circle and the triangle, these are disjoint, right? And they are separated. In fact, A and B are separated. A and B are separated. And yes, if I say yes, whether A union B, A intersection B is empty and A intersection B bar is empty, that is concluding that they are separated. And if I say S is, you take both the union of this, S is A union B. That means what? Your set, how does it will look like? It will look like the same. Circle is sitting somewhere, triangle is sitting somewhere. That's all. There is no way of compromising with both the thing. This won't compromise with this and triangle won't compromise with this. So they are, no, don't make us to, we already separated, just make us to be separate. That's all. They are separated. Now what? If I can write a set by the union of these two, we say that the set is disconnected. It's not connected. Those sets are said to be disconnected sets. A set is said to be disconnected if I can write them by the union of two non-empty separated sets. Then we say that S is disconnected. However, if you know connected, disjoint and separated is enough, but however, the definition for disconnectedness is this. Once we solve few examples, we will be coming to know what exactly it is. See whether this set is connected. X comma y belongs to R such that x plus y equals to 1. That means it's a straight line. X plus y equals to 1 means x by a plus y by b equals to 1. X intercept is a, y intercept is b. Here x by 1, y by 1. That is, it just passes through x equals to 1 and y equals to 1. This is the graph, sorry. Because x equals to 1 is this and y equals to 1 is this. At this point this is x plus y equals to 1. Now what is the situation? Whether this set is connected. See, take any 2 points, you can connect them by a polygonal path. Polygonal path is nothing but the straight line. It's simple, like you have a wire, and let me say an ant is moving here somewhere. How it will move? Just it will move in the same line, or else if it is coming backwards, it should come in the same line. Is it clear? So if you take any 2 points, initial point and the final point, you can join them by the path. What is that path? That path is nothing but that same wire. But here x comma y belongs to R such that x into y equals to 1. That is, y is equals to 1 by x. As we noted it earlier. This is the graph. See here, if you say, sir, take any 2 points, you can join them. Yeah, you have that luxury here. Here also you have 2 points, you can join them. But what is the situation if I stand here and here? Let me say this is the point A and this is the point B. How to join A and B now? Whether this point is in that set? It's not in that set. It's not possible. Here you have 1 point, here you have 1 point. See the set, if you just think about this, it's not connected, right? So there are some examples some questions are asked in the previous examination. Once we solve them, we will get the clarity. However, you should be able to understand, you should be able to visualize what exactly connectedness is, separatedness is, and what is compactness. Okay. So we move on to the next concept is perfect set. A set is said to be perfect if it contains its limit points, or else S dash should be equals to S. We already know S dash is nothing but the set of all limit points. If S dash equals to S, then we say that the set is perfect. Is it clear? But already we know S is contained in S dash, that is sure. Only bothering thing is we should think about whether S dash is contained in S. If this works, then we say that the set is perfect. Clear? Next we move on to the dense subsets. See, should be very careful to understand the definition here. I will give the definition in this way. Consider any 2 sets. I will just say first set and the second set. First set is said to be dense in the second set. First set is said to be dense in second set if second is contained in closure of first. Just the definition is this. Is it clear? Or else, if A and B are any 2 sets, A is said to be dense in B if B is contained in A bar. That is, second is contained in closure of first. Second is contained in closure of first. So keep this in mind. Whenever we say A is dense in B, that is, first set is dense in B if second set is contained in closure of first. Keep that in mind, that's all. Is it clear? Shall we move on to solve some problem, some examples, so that it will be clear to us. The first example is, I will give 2 more definitions. One is, this is the definition for dense subset. Then we have dense in itself. Try to understand. Dense in itself means first set and the second set is same. A is dense in A when A is contained in A bar. Then we say that A is dense in A. Right, first and second set are one and the same here. So I just took A is contained in A bar. But already we know what is A bar. A union A dash. A is already contained in A. So the left out thing is A must be contained in A dash. If this happens, we say that the set is dense in itself. Is it clear? Third point is what is somewhere dense? Try to understand this. We say A is somewhere dense if you take interior of the closure. You take the interior of the closure, it must be non-empty. If this happens, we say that the set is somewhere dense. Is it clear? Somewhere dense. And the next is everywhere dense. Everywhere dense means A bar should be equals to R. Then we say that everywhere dense. Next is nowhere dense. Nowhere dense is negation of somewhere dense, or else negation of everywhere dense. That means nowhere you can find this somewhere dense. Nowhere dense means A bar interior must be empty. Then we say that it is nowhere dense. I will give a simple example to understand this scenario. See, let me say we are thinking about just a room. Okay. So if you are in your family, your mother will keep the room very clean. Somewhere the dust may be there. So that's called somewhere dense. If you just think about, if you want to find the fault, then we say, mother, you didn't clean here. See, you have dust at one point of the room, somewhere. Nowhere dense means you think about an operation theatre where it must be hygienic. So there, nowhere dense, nowhere the dust particles are there. A bar interior is empty. But everywhere dense means you think about the bachelor's room. Everywhere it is dense. That means everywhere it will be dust particles will be there. They won't clean their room properly. Likewise, A bar equals to R. Is it clear? Just to understand what's the meaning, to remember what exactly it is. So you just take that room, closure of that room, and you just peep inside. If it is empty, you say that you are in the operation theatre, or else in an hygienic room where it is nowhere dense. If it is not empty means you need to think whether you are here or what. If you are somewhere dense means at least one point if that must be not empty. It will be if it is happens to be everywhere. Everywhere means you just don't peep inside, you just go everywhere. Everywhere if you are finding the dust particles means it is nothing but A bar equals to R. The closure is everywhere. That is the dust particles are everywhere. That is said to be everywhere dense. We will see some examples, then we can understand what exactly it is. Next example is whether Q is dense in R. See, this is the first set and this is the second set. I said second must be contained in the closure of first. Second must be contained in the closure of first. So that is R must be contained in, we don't know actually, first, that is Q closure. But what is Q closure? Q union Q dash. Q union, what is Q dash? R. What is Q union R? It is R. So R is contained in R. So this works. Okay, I doubted in the beginning, now it works. That means Q is dense in R. Is it clear? Similar to that, you can say Q complement is also dense in R. Similarly, we can claim this Q complement. Q complement. Next is whether N is dense in R, natural numbers. See, to answer this, whether N is dense in R, this is the first set and this is the second set. Second set must be, or else think in this way, second set must be contained in the closure of first. So what is the second set? It is R, whether R is contained in closure of N. What is this? N union N dash. What is N dash? N dash is empty. So it is N. But R is not contained in N. That means N is not dense in R. In fact, N is nowhere dense. Okay. You can think about any N closure, interior of the closure, what it is. See, if you think about the closure, it's empty. Empty interior is empty. So it's empty means it's nowhere dense. Is it clear? Then the same definition can be used. Z is also not dense in R. Now the next question is whether Q is dense in Q. See, to answer this first and second, what is our notion? Second should be contained in the closure of first. That is, Q must be contained in closure of Q. Q closure is Q union Q dash. That is Q union R. It is nothing but R. So Q is contained in R. So Q is dense in Q. Now the question is, what can you say about the open interval 1, 2? Whether 1, 2 is dense in 1, 2, closed interval. How to think about this? This is the set A and this is the set B. A is said to be dense in B if B is contained in A bar. So what is A bar? A bar is A union A dash. That is open interval 1, 2 union. What is the limit points? Including the limit points means it is this. That means the largest set will be in the union. What is B? B is 1, 2. In fact, 1, 2 is contained in 1, 2. So 1, 2 is dense in this. Is it clear? Now the question is whether R is dense in itself. Clear? So how to say? First set is R, second set is R. R must be contained in R closure. What is R closure? R closure is